What's going on, everybody? David Mitch here, and welcome back to Fans of Train, episode 49.
It's time to stop now.
Oh.
It's time to stop now. It's time to stop now.
Well, Mel already got it started with the new clock I have. Alino?
Yep.
Train clock. So, yeah. Also, I want to bring up some breaking news that happened here in Ravenel today.
Really?
And it happened when I was coming home, and it happened around 4:30. We had a train for a truck. And it happened only 2 minutes from where I was, you know?
What a train.
Do you hear a photo from a friend of mine? I did not know it happened, but here are the photos. We had a train for a truck. Or technically a truck for a train, to be more exact. Ooh. But, yeah.
Excuse me.
And it happened down in that direction. The direction I'm pointing at, it railroad crossed, and it got hit at with about 3 minutes that way. Oh wow! But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that's so loud.
Also, yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the model train video blog from Trotton Area Model Train Club.
I'm testing this microphone because it's so good. Yes, ma'am.
That value put for you, but I hope y'all enjoyed that. And I'm sorry not up to like I usually do my video editing. It's because I'm still getting used to CapCut. Trying to get hang up doing intros and stuff. But yeah, let's call a Brightline fan.
Oh, Mr. Brightline.
See if he busy.
Mr. Brightline.
Hey, Brightline fan, you doing good, bud?
Hello, Brightline.
Oop, let me turn the fan off. Up 1 minute. Hey, can you hear me? Oh no, Discord it started. Hey, Bright.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Sorry.
Hey, you doing good, bud?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing good. We had a train accident today, 5 minutes from my house, or technically 3 minutes to be more exact. But
what just happened?
what? Right by my house?
Yes.
We had a truck for a train.
You mean a truck and a train?
Yep.
Oh, I know what it is. It's a train collision. Well.
Yeah, well, did technically about 3 minutes from my house. I just sent you a photo.
Shoot.
Yep.
That's really bad.
Heck, funny thing is that it happened down at the railroad crossing that me and my mom were waiting at because we had a train meetup and we said no. We went to our railroad crossing with the 165 Highway 65 railroad crossing where I always rail fans at.
Mm-hmm.
We went to that railroad crossing, but we did have stuck to the railroad crossing down there by the church. Because if we did, I would have probably caught the accident on video, you know?
I see. Did anyone got hurt?
Not.
I mean, the truck driver.
No one got hurt. But thing is that I was at the railroad crossing that did happen about 4 minutes before it even happened. You know?
Oh.
Went down to the railroad crossing and did not even realize what happened because let's be honest, it would have been crazy. You know what I mean?
Yes, accidents happen all the time.
Heck,
accidents happen like this.
I'll be on it. If I knew, not trying to be a crazy person here, if I knew the train accident was going to happen, I would have probably made my mom wait at that railroad crossing for about 5 minutes to when that accident is going to happen, just before I can catch that on video, you know?
Yes, I remember a similar accident which happened with Amtrak just about a few months back.
The only reason I was able to get these photos was because a friend of mine, who is a firefighter, took them. So they're not my photo from, but a friend of mine.
I see.
So he already been sharing them on Facebook.
Like accidents like this actually happen across the Bright Line corridor.
Oof. Here, funny, Jane. Once a year, we have a train accident here.
See. Hey, by the way, I was talking to my mother. What you were saying?
Once every 1 to 2 years, we have a train accident here in Ravenel, where I live. And every 1 to 2 years.
So it must be the safest when it comes to train accidents.
Mm-hmm. Well, here, Jane, back in 2018, Jane, a family member of mine, got hit by a train, but Jane, it was not suicide, and it was not him, not paying attention. Jane, before the train even hit him, he was already dead before the train even hit him.
You gotta be careful around those trains.
No, his body was placed on the track. He was murdered, and then his body was placed there to make it look like an accident.
Ooh.
And the people who did it got away with it. We know who did it, and the thing is that they got away with it.
I see.
You know how they say that you could get away with a crime? It actually
Yes. It happens every single time.
Mm-hmm. People think that crime pays or crime don't pay. Which it actually kind of do and don't,
Yes.
But let not go down that rabbit hole, because that was a rough time, and that's something that I do not want to remember that much anyway,
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
Because that was a family member of mine, and he was murdered, and then his body was placed on the track to make it look like a suicide.
Let me talk to you about my mother.
All right. But yeah, probably a fan of talking to her mom real quick. But yeah, it's something that happened to in my family a couple years ago. I just don't like talking about it. They have it back in 2018. A couple months after we had the snow. And the train technically hit him. Their video proved that he was probably already dead before the train even hit him. But yeah. But let me get back to the train accident from the day. That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so what? All right.
I'm right back right now.
All right, I'll wait for you, bud. But yeah,
the train. So about the train, I see that's a CSX. It's
the train. It was pulling with M492. It was a manifest train from Waycross, or technically not Waycross, Georgia. It began down in Florida, and it make it all the way up to the northeast.
I see.
But that was ironic. Heck, I actually did it back in 2019. I actually caught a train hitting a car after. I did not caught a train impacting the car, but I caught it after it hit the car and went into full-on emergency braking.
Okay, I see. By the way, I was watching Worldwide Rail Fan about the news of trains right now. They're actually ordering some hybrid engines and and there's the first hydrogen-powered train.
Mm-hmm. I know, that crazy. Dude, you remember a couple months ago when I was talking about the Ford locomotive, how we could use something like that here in Charleston?
Yep.
we would be able to do that here in Charlotte. We would be able to. All we did need is about 20 sets of them, like about 20 sets. That's all we need to do a good, reliable turbine here in Charleston,
Mm-hmm.
Like, for phase of the plan. But, yeah, but it's crazy. Oh, and when I would talk to you yesterday, bud, for y'all who don't know, I would talk to him yesterday off live stream, but what did talk about? You remember the strike that was supposed to happen about 2 weeks ago?
Oh, yes. I've heard that they're going to strike again.
Yep, and it's supposed to happen around the 15th.
Oh, this railroad strike could actually change the American railroad industry as we know it.
Heck, if it gets bad as it is, I hate it, but I do see eventually the government taking over,
I could actually see electrification going in place. I could see that happening.
I know, but here, Jane, I do think if this does happen this time, like I don't like Biden, but I hate Tate. He'll say, all right, that's it. I'm nationalizing you guys. You can't even do stuff right. I'm nationalizing the railroads,
I don't know if that's going to affect the West Coast. And I don't know if it's going to affect Norfolk Southern or CSX in any way.
Well, the big prime target that would probably get nationalized and would probably be used as an example for the other class one, saying if they don't want to get nationalized, they better straighten up their act, would be BNSF. Am I right?
Yes, I could see BNSF and Union Pacific.
More than likely BNSF, even though BNSF have not been around as long as all the other class ones, they would be the primary target because, let's be honest, all this started with them, If you want to make an example, start with the one who started it all, Am I right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So with BNSF being one that started the whole debacle and with their high-vis policy, I'll be honest, they'll be the first one to be nationalized and to be used as an example, Am I right?
I see.
Hey, being that Brightline fan, did you see my video from day before yesterday?
No, I haven't.
Oh, the Model Train Club one?
I haven't seen that video yet.
But yeah, it's crazy. Crazy, ain't it?
It's absolutely crazy.
But I'll be honest, all the stuff that is going on right now is just crazy. Oh, have you been keeping track of the war in Ukraine?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Ukraine's had another big breakthrough again.
I've heard that Russia is trying to annexing the Donbass region.
Well, it's not. Well, the Donbass region actually fell, and Ukraine actually right now getting it back.
Oh.
So, in a matter of days, the Donbass region will be liberated from Russia. You know what I mean?
I know.
And then you have right there near one of their seaports that Russia took over a couple of months ago. They're getting close to almost liberating that, down in the south area. It's crazy, ain't it? But yeah. But it's going to be a total victory for Ukraine, There's no way that Russia is going to be saving their butt from the war,
I don't don't see that happening anytime
And there are a lot of unrest in Russia right now. There's probably rumor of a civil war about to break out in Russia itself.
I think Ukraine could use this war to take over Crimea.
Heck, I'll be honest. I would just let Crimea be Crimea because, let's be honest, not trying to hate on what's been going on. Crimea was its own place before it got taken over by the people back a long time ago. And then it became part of Ukraine, you know?
Yep.
I understand that part because that I understand, but everything else, I don't agree with what Russia did, you know?
I understand.
But it's a whole rabbit hole that we don't need to go down. I don't want to even go down that rabbit hole.
Me neither.
Yeah. But yeah, so how everything going? Because I know the president went to your country yesterday. Or not yesterday, was it yesterday?
Yesterday was...
I know the president of the United States was in the Democratic Republic.
Let me see.
I'm not sure if it was yesterday or today, you know? But it's crazy, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Oh, speaking of that, do you know if Dimitri's doing a live stream this weekend?
I don't know about that.
Dude, I'll be honest, Dimitri, something is going on with him, man.
Oh no, Biden didn't actually arrive in the Dominican Republic. He went to Puerto Rico.
Oh, Puerto Rico. Oh, my bad.
Puerto Rico. Actually, Puerto Rico and the island I'm on is actually, they're really close to each other, but they're not the same island.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Oh, speaking of that, do you see some new locomotives that are built here in the U.S. are being sent to South Korea? Do you know what they...
I haven't seen that new locomotive, but I've seen some that are heading out from... are heading to Brazil and other parts of the world.
All right, the locomotives that I'm talking about that are actually going to South Korea are SW 1001s, you know? And they're complete rebuilds. It's crazy. You know what I mean?
I could see their progress film is constructing a new Dash 9. I haven't heard of Dash 9s. All I've heard is Dash 8s.
I know, that's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. Is that a new locomotive, or Dash 9s were here for a while now?
Dash 9s, they've been around for a while. It's a complete rebuild of them, you know?
I see.
You know what I mean?
Probably we might see a Dash 10 locomotive.
Yeah, that's probably what we're probably going to see, you know?
Yeah.
But I cannot believe we had a train accident today. Right by my house. Ain't that some crazy stuff, you know?
I see.
But
Going on to National Hurricane Center right now.
Oh yeah, they upgraded the percent on that one that we're watching, you know?
Oh, we have Tropical Depression 12. The one that yesterday I was checking.
The one that had the 20% on it?
The one that had 70%.
Oof.
So
that was
the yellow car.
Now that one, I'm kind of looking a little concerned with that one because it looked like it started to turn towards the U.S. You know, with how
disturbance one is now 60%. Yesterday was 20%.
Dude, we're probably going to have 2 more hurricanes, and I hate it. The one that I'm probably going to hit first is probably in the Gulf. you know?
The one that is closest to us might actually would hit us first.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, I think that one might take a little bit of the same pass at Ian, but not going to take the full same pass, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? At this
Can
point,
I say hi to Bright Light?
Oh, Vel said hi. Vel said hi.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
But yeah,
Sorry.
Hey,
but it.
Tropical Depression 12 is at the eastern coast of Africa right now. So basically, we might not know. We might have a hurricane on our 2 hurricanes on our way, or
Now,
we could actually take any path.
Now, the one in the trough, I mean in the Atlantic, that one we will kind of have to watch and see where it go. If it start going out to sea, then we're fine. But if it start darting toward the East Coast, then someone over here going to get screwed. You know,
The disturbance one has 60% chance of cyclone formation.
Mm-hmm.
I could see a future cyclone.
Mm-hmm. We could probably have 2 in this week, you know, probably 2 this week or next week.
Yes.
On our
We have a
hands.
tropical depression right now, Tropical Depression 12.
I'll be on it. The beginning of August, all the way through beginning of September, was quiet. Quietest part of hurricane season ever, you know?
Oh,
But-
That was in August.
I know. August was quieter than normal. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then right toward the end of September, everything started ramping up.
Really?
Am I right?
I want to check the weather
Yeah.
tomorrow.
And here,
Tropical Depression 91I is actually is still heading towards the Antilles.
oof.
We might have a hurricane in the next 48. Well, we might have a tropical cyclone in the next 48 hours or so.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
It's crazy, ain't it?
Excuse me.
But also,
And
Mhm.
actually, Tropical Depression 91I is actually the closest to our location.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, everybody want to know reason why we're having global warming as a problem. It all had to start with the car culture, you know? I blame car culture for global warming, you know?
Yes, we all know that.
Because everybody say, oh, it was a steam engine that caused it, the train. That's total BS, you know?
And the coal and stuff like that. And coal.
If you want to know when the temperatures and stuff started going wild and started changing, when we started building suburbia and building car infrastructure. That when it started causing problems.
You see, I'm looking at Tropical Depression 12 right now, and it's building up.
Yeah.
It may turn into a tropical storm
Mm-hmm.
in the next 48 hours.
So where do you think that one is probably going to go?
It might be heading out towards the Atlantic.
I'm talking about the one that is near the Gulf.
Oh. I don't know.
My bet is that one is probably going to be from either Texas or Louisiana. And let's be honest, Louisiana don't even need any more hurricanes because they got 4 majors one last year. You remember?
Yeah, possibly this one's going to New York.
Oof.
Who knows?
I would not mind New York getting hit by a hurricane, you know?
Exactly.
Let's be honest, New York, it's a waste of time, and I've been to New York one time, and I had very negative thoughts on it afterward. Literally, first time I've been in New York was not a positive light. Good God. And I was 17 at the time, you know? If you want to see us,
remnants of Hurricane Ian is still present. So,
Ian, Hurricane Ian.
You pronounce it as Ian or Ian.
Well,
same old.
But
so Ian.
Okay.
But
yeah, the remnant are affecting everything up north. That's crazy. Hey, well,
it's turning into a snowstorm or something.
Up in Canada, they're out getting snow right now. Up in Canada now, now that South Carolina got hit by a hurricane this year, it is saying that we have here in South Carolina. Every time we get hit by a hurricane, we always get snow. Every time, you know?
Oh.
So,
I know that.
Like, what are we? 1989, Hurricane Hugo. We got hit by Hugo back in 1989 in September. It would end in September, beginning in October. And
Did you guys got hit by Hurricane Sandy?
No. We thought that when that thing we went around us. You know?
I remember Hurricane Irene.
Like, and after Florida
at the time.
Like, after Hurricane Hugo, a couple months later, on Christmas, and I'm talking about Christmas, we had a white Christmas. And then a couple years later, we had another hurricane in 2004 that hit us. A couple months later, we had snow. Then 2009, we had a hurricane hit us. And then in 2010, we had snow. Then in 2017, we had Hurricane Irma that hit Florida. Still got a hurricane. And then in the beginning of 2018, 3 days after the new year, we had snow. Ain't that crazy?
Oh.
Like, it only happens when we get hit by hurricanes. Like,
crazy.
It's a crazy phenomenon. Like, there's only one example that did not happen, and that was Hurricane Matthew back in 2016. The only hurricane that we have not had snow from a couple months later, you know? That was the only one, you know? It took 2 years after that happened for that to happen, you know?
Okay, changing the topic.
Yeah, let's get back to trains because this was meant to be a live stream about trains.
Yeah, not about hurricanes.
I know.
Right line. See what's going on over there.
Have they delayed it? Because I know.
No. I don't see any news about Brightline at this moment. The last one was 21 days ago.
I know. Roman Railfan have not posted anything about Brightline in a bit, except for updates about a couple weeks ago, you know?
I see.
Everything went a little quiet, but I'll be on it. Saying that I'll be on it about it, that everybody say it's supposed to be open in 2023, but I think it might be a little earlier than that, you know?
And late 2022 and early 2023.
Yeah.
That's what Dimitri's had said.
Yeah, and they were ahead of schedule, you know? They were ahead of schedule at one point, you know? And I hate that with their hurricane, it probably delayed them and made them a little late, you know?
Oh. NSF train fatally strikes pedestrian. You actually sent that in the ARC Grand Central.
Yep. That happened in Los Angeles right there. You know what I mean?
I see.
Saying it, that was supposed to go to Admiral Ellis Discord, you know? That I meant to put that in Admiral Ellis Discord for the Terminate broadcast. You know him?
I don't know him. haven't heard of the Terminus broadcast yet.
You know how a railroad have a terminus?
Yes, I know.
That name of his YouTube series. Look it up on YouTube. They talk about trains and they get up to all sort of shenanigans. It's funny, you know?
Let's see.
It's very entertaining to watch, you know? And they have a cool intro, you know?
Terminus broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Terminus podcast.
Like, listen to their intro real quick. Just listen to it. It's cool. You know? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean, Brightline fan?
Okay, let's see here. I'm looking for the.
They're one you out with before Dimitri said it. They said Conrail 2.0. They were the one who brought it up. You know?
I see.
Well, it's funny because they actually said it before Demetrius. But, yeah. Crazy, ain't it? You know what I mean? Well, let me put a link to one of his video in Dick Gotta Find It real quick.
Admirer Ellis.
Yeah. I actually brought it up with Dimitri. Dimitri should have the link to the YouTube channel because I gave it to him in his chat where we can, you know, do a little bit of helping with publication. You know what I mean?
Terminus podcast, episode 175, consensual take. Amtrak 69.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you found it. Never mind.
Oh, there's an ad.
Oh,
Go.
dude, I hate ads. You know?
I know, but you know, capitalism 101.
Thing is that it's not really capitalism, you know?
I see.
It's a false capitalism. It's fake capitalism. Say, oh, you need to make money, you know?
Yep.
It's a big corporate, you know?
Yeah,
Am I? Oh, do you hear the intro? Because
I'm going to hear it right now.
Because it's pretty cool, and toward the end of it, it have the all aboard toward the end of the intro, you know?
I see.
Like, let me bring it up. 1 minute. One minute. It's taking me a few minutes.
Don't worry.
But yeah, it's funny, you know what I mean?
Are you subscribed to them?
Like, I've been subscribed to them for a long time, man. I've been subscribed to them since 2016, you know? Like, you know what I mean?
Gentlemen, and welcome to
You hear it?
episode number 192 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of September 24th, not 14th, 24th, 2022. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me, I have one fireman, that's TJ Sicosio, two horsemen, that's Tyler and Dean.
Hi.
And
Hello.
returning as our Bregman is Horizon.
Hello.
You weren't here last podcast, right? No, who was here? Oh, him was here last podcast.
No, it was him, yeah.
The gap between these is sometimes so long that when I see someone's name in the thumbnails I've already made, I'll go, oh crap, are we breaking the rules? Were they here last time? I forget.
No,
especially when it's a horseman that comes in, because I'm like, okay, were they volunteering? Were they, Anyway, good to have you back. Good to have everybody back. And before we get on to, I must have missed something because KCS allegedly did something, but I don't have an article.
I don't want to send him that.
The train will terminate at this station.
Oh, that's a nice podcast. Not gonna lie.
What do you think about the intro? Oh, damn it, ad, dude. There we go.
Okay.
You heard that? Dude, I will be on. The reason why I hate fucking ad. That was only 1 minute and 30 seconds into the video and already had an ad,
Mine is actually right before the video starts and right after it ends.
Yeah, we had one before the video started, and then 1 minute and 30 seconds later, we had another ad. Dude, that's ridiculous right there. I hate Susan for this shit, She,
Not unless if you pay for YouTube Premium, which there's no ads.
I know, and Jane, they're trying to force it on it, It either,
Yep.
like, they're doing it on purpose to make more people buy it with it dirty,
I know.
Like, heck, I'm surprised that the government have not cracked down on them, you know what I mean?
I know.
Because they need to be,
They
they need to be cracked down.
They need to monetize the platform.
Mm-hmm. And the person who running it is trying to please the new media, trying to,
Yep.
like, YouTube is not supposed to be there for the media. Like, for fuck's sakes, stop trying to please the news people, Like, I hate to say it, like, I'll be honest. Someone should have to went and oof Susan long ago,
Yeah, Susan. I do not like Susan.
Like, heck, I hate to say it. If someone right now built a time machine and went back in time and found out where she lived, I guarantee they'll probably, oofed her,
I see.
Like, am I right?
You're absolutely right there.
Because everybody
I'm right there with you.
like, everybody links YouTube downfall with her, Like, what are we?
Uh-huh.
Like, if you say something wrong, they will come after you like freaking dogs,
It's a mice and cats game.
And then they want to promote in cringy stuff like, let's bring up, Cocomelon. Good God. Cocomelon, that BS? Like,
No, I've never heard of it.
it's a YouTube channel that is freaking famous, and it made for toddlers. It's freaking annoying,
Oh, I've heard of Cocomelon. The similar stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant right there.
Oh, yeah.
What the F? Like, seriously.
I see you're a PewDiePie fan right now.
Yeah, I am a bro nation. I'll be on it. I'm guilty. Like,
Yeah. I wish I had never seen content in YouTube. There's a lot of, let's say, as Dimitri could call it, boomer content in YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that, hey, I'll be up SMRs. I'm surprised that they are not counted as the F word, You know what word I'm talking about?
What do you mean?
Fetish.
Ah, yes.
I'm surprised that they
You don't
don't.
actually censor that?
We know you don't have to censor that word. I'm surprised that they're not going after that word, you know?
That is kind of awkward. It doesn't censor things that should be censored, but they censor things that shouldn't be censored.
I know, but let's be honest, that's what SMRs are, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, literally, you can go, like, they're a big loophole where you can make sexual-like content under the stand of SMRs, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know what ASMR means.
SMRs, you know, where they make the noises and all of that? Like, it crazy, you know what I mean? Heck, even the YouTuber Vanos Gaming app, we made fun about it. You know?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Being that all the trains are halted right now because of that accident, you know?
You see.
Yeah, they probably won't have that cleaned up until around 10 o'clock tonight, you know? But I'll be honest, on it, Susan really messed up YouTube, you know, like, and the other person we have to blame for that is Jake Paul. Or not Jake Paul, Logan Paul, you know? Or not, you know that snotty YouTuber?
Yep.
Or what, Jake Paul or Logan Paul? The one who is now part of WWE. Oh, 1 minute.
Sorry.
Was it Jake Paul or Logan Paul who is part of WWE?
Logan Paul, right?
Yeah.
That sucker.
It Logan Paul, you know?
Oh yeah. We'll apply for a boxing match.
Yeah.
Against the money.
Mm-hmm.
Play weather.
But Brightline fan, he's the other reason why, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. The Paul brothers are stupid against her in this cool
Because do you know the reason why? He was one who walked through that forest in Japan, you know, the suicide forest.
That's the most iconic, was historic but disrespected.
He
by
walked
some.
through it, posted the video online, and the news media ran with it, you know?
Oh yeah.
With,
And
like, really, like, what the absolute F? This is why I hate the news media, because anything that they can to make YouTube look bad, they will do it, you know?
Oh yeah.
not to mention, there's a lot of simps in YouTube.
That is so true, you know? Well, they're even worse on TikTok, you know? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I will never use TikTok
Well, I have
Either.
TikTok. That hurts. That's okay.
because not trying Val uses TikTok, not trying to hurt you, Val, but you know, it's made by communists, you
Are
know?
you serious, David?
Yeah, it's made by Chinese, Val.
Made by suckers, you mean?
Yeah, am I right?
Oh, David.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's
That's
made,
David for you guys.
actually, TikTok is owned by ByteDance.
With a Chinese government that are run by Chinese company that were run by their government. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is that do not ever type in China on TikTok because
That's
it
cool.
will bombard you with Chinese propaganda.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
actually
propaganda.
Am I right?
Nope.
Yes. Don't forget about Twitch as well.
Oh my
But
god.
There are lots of stuff in Twitch that I'd rather not see.
I know. Heck, I'll be on it. Twitch is a lost cause. You know, I will never do Twitch. You know.
Twitch sucks.
So, Twitch is not a bad platform. The problem is that there are lots
Of
streamers
simps.
out there.
Simps.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, hot tub parties. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope. The party. Shellac party.
Yeah.
With the girls writing people names on their bodies and all
Ew.
that in a hot tub.
Nope.
But yeah,
Am I right?
bath water. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And there was not a YouTuber, but another Twitch streamer who called it out and called them out, and they took his channel down multiple times, and he's a good guy, because he called the people out,
Actually, e-streaming companies are actually putting forth. They're actually putting profits in front of reputation.
And that's what YouTube is doing right now too,
Sorry.
Not just the streaming services, but let's
social
say
media
the
stuff.
industry that we might not talk about.
Really?
The railroads.
Railroads.
No, not the railroads. We're talking about the P word.
Oh, the P-O-R word.
The P-R-O-N.
This is, MG.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I'll be honest, me and Phil, we do watch some of that sometimes. We'll be honest, we do watch it.
But that's not for the group. TikTok for the group,
But I'll be honest, you're right, we throw profit over their reputation,
Yes, profits over reputation.
That anything that get too big, when anything get too big and get too much money, they, start doing stuff like that. Am I right?
I thought you said against it, right? Sorry, David.
But yeah. Now, let's get back to the railroad stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Because we don't need to go down that rabbit hole anymore as it is with some of the stuff we were just talking about,
Why?
Yes, exactly.
Railroad stuff?
No, other stuff. But, sorry, Phil. But
That's okay.
I'll be honest on it. This is what I'm going to bring up. The railroads are putting profit over worker safety,
Yup.
Am I right?
Yes, I've heard about
What
that.
about that, David Bond?
And what are we? And with the crew shortages, there are still some crew shortages, but it's not as bad as it was last year. You remember? I remember at the beginning of summer, we had a railroad crew shortage. Now, that was bad, And
Okay.
I think...
According to Yahoo Finance, the U.S. is bracing for railroad strikes, but markets shouldn't see that as a black swan event. Goldman Sachs chief economist says.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, but they're a bunch of idiots. Am I right?
Yeah.
They do
Yes,
not.
More than 90,000 freight railroad workers are preparing to strike for better pay and more time off. According to Yahoo Finance.
And the thing is that they need to, because the railroads are literally treating their employees like machines.
Yes. Another point, officials have warned that the strikes could cost the U.S. economy $2 billion a day. $2 billion.
Hey, well, this might make the government rethink and say, okay, we need to start cracking down on the class ones.
Class ones again.
And
You know how $2 billion a day? That sounds a lot.
it is, but I think it might be things that get, the railroads to realize. Heck, mining company back in the Ozark Mountain, Tennessee, they literally taught a miniature war back in the 1920s, In the Ozark Mountains.
Research it.
Oh, no.
See, I'm going to research the FEC to see what had happened with them. No, that's the wrong FEC. Florida East Coast, not the Federal Election Commission.
Electric Boogaroos, Heck, they're actually a tournament broadcast called Electric Boogaroos,
Yeah. at the Federal Election Commission. I'm looking for the Florida East Coast Railway. Let's see here.
Well, I know the Florida East Coast Railway, they're not probably going to go on strike, because let's be honest, they don't do what the Class 1s do, The regional and Class 3s, I'll be honest, the regional and Class 3 are the ones who are probably going to handle it the most. And heck, what were you about to say? Brightline?
Brightline.
All right, but I'll be honest. I think after the railroad strike, some Class 3 and regional are probably going to get more rails.
I see.
Like, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because let's be honest, the government needs to crack down on the big Class 1s.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are too big. Am I right?
Class 1s.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm looking at the Florida East Coast Railway about the strikes that happened there.
Oh, so they're going on strike too?
Mm-hmm.
Or no?
Oh.
Oh, so they're not. All right, that's good. But I'll be honest. I think we're going to have them regional become Class 1 after next year.
No, so
Like,
I was actually reading about the strike that happened 40 or 50, 60 years ago on the FEC.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know.
The beginning of the strike. You remember back in the 1950s, there was a Florida East Coast. There was a strike on the Florida East Coast Railroad that actually, let's say, terminated passenger service.
Oh yeah, I hate to say it, but that was the death of partner service on the Florida East Coast Railway.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody said that was death of it, and it was kind of true because let's be honest, the Florida East Coast back at the time was a little ignorant.
Yep.
And Jada, most people don't even think about that because let's be honest. What is going on right now, we might see a change up with the railroads,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like, heck, we're probably going to have a lot more fallen flags with Class 1 before the end of this decade,
Mm-hmm.
And we're probably going to have more Class 1s, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Ultra.
Am I right, Brightline?
You're right.
Like, what railroads do you think are going to be Class 1s in the next decade, Because...
It's in the Florida Central.
Mm-hmm. Because I do see having another Class 1 coming up, which is the Iowa Interstate in Iowa. I would have counted Montana Rail Link, but, BNSF kind of screwed that up by buying it out,
You can actually see the Pennsylvania Railroad. No, the other Pennsylvania Railroad that still is operating on Western New York.
Like, they won't count that at Class 3 sort line now,
Possibly heading to Class 2.
Yeah. Now, I do see the Reddit and Northern. The Reddit and Northern Railway in Pennsylvania? I do see that one becoming a Class 1 in the next couple of years. I do see the Wisconsin and Southern Railway in Wisconsin becoming a Class 1 in a couple of years. Because both those railroads are regionals, With them...
I can see the Florida East Coast as well.
Yes. You know that ironic thing is Florida East Coast was a Class 1 at one point, So we can see them regain their title at a Class 1 in our generation or our lifetime, you know? Which is crazy, you know what I mean?
Yes, the FEC was historically a Class 1 railroad.
And then they were brought down to a regional or Class 2 in the 80s, around the 1780s.
Yep.
And the only reason they were brought down was because they had lost a lot of stuff, and they were not doing so well. Well, it was not until 1984 of the invention of the double stack intermodal car. You know the double stack intermodal train cars?
Yep.
They say that invention single-handedly is the one that actually saved that railroad, you know? Because
Actually, Florida East Coast Railway expanded far from Jacksonville all the way down to Georgia.
they did, and like literally, when you look at it, they used to go all the way up, probably right to the South Carolina border, you know?
So they actually had a partnership with the Atlantic Coast Line.
Yep.
Which some of their trains actually go all the way up to New York.
Oh, yeah, that was true. And what? It crazy, ain't it, you know?
Yep.
But, yeah. The thing is, people don't realize how much infrastructure we lost, you know?
Yep.
Everybody said, oh, we gained more infrastructure. No, we haven't. We went backward and said, we have not made any broadcasts, you know?
Ironically, the train is the symbol of progress.
And it is the symbol of broadcast. The car is not. Am I right?
No. Yeah, absolutely.
And when you think of it,
one American pioneer that said, there is nothing more genuine than seeing a train pulling a car of progress.
And that's true.
Railroad car.
And I hate to say it, cars degress. Like, cars are the degression, you know, of broadcast. Am I right?
Absolutely right.
And most people say, oh, cars are great at expensive. No, they're not.
It's way too inefficient.
They're way too inefficient. And look at how people don't realize how much work they were when it came to segregating people, you know?
Yep. The interstate did that.
Like, it is that most people don't realize that the cars kill more than guns. They really do. They say
you don't see dozens of car accidents popping up every single day on the mainstream media.
Because it will literally screw over the car companies, you know?
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Because when you tell the people the truth, the people are going to want change. Am I right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
And that's the thing. The car companies know it, and they're scared of it. That's the reason why they don't.
Yes, the cars are the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm. They are the discretion of process, you know?
Yeah.
And most people don't realize that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. In my island, there isn't any railroads. We have railroads on a small scale, the sugarcane fields and in the capital. But right after that, you don't see any railroad links.
I know you guys got a mining railroad around there somewhere that into a mine.
Yeah. We have a few railroads here and there, but they're not connected to each other.
Mm-hmm. And that's the same, you know?
Yes. We're actually way worse off than in the United States. At least the United States has Amtrak and the Class 1 railroads.
And you guys have nothing with it, Jane, you know?
Yeah, it's probably insane to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Most people don't realize that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I suppose that you should actually, the United States actually has to upgrade their rail lines. That's what they have to do.
they do.
Instead of building new rail lines, I think they should actually upgrade them.
And also rebuild them too, you know? They need to also rebuild new... Well, are you thinking about cutting your hair again? But, Brightline fan, I'll be on it. On it. You thinking about cutting your hair again?
Yeah, possibly.
I was talking to my wife there for a minute, you know?
I see.
But I'll be honest. Like, what we need to do is rebuild and bring back some old rail lines that we decided that, they don't have any purpose anymore. Just scrap them and tear them up, you know?
Scrap them up, scrap them up.
Yes. I found an article about rail transport in the Dominican Republic.
Ha ha. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's a damn shame of what happened to your country, you know?
Yes.
And let me bring up about here in the U.S. Like, heck, you remember the Montana division up the Milwaukee Road?
I've heard about the Milwaukee Road.
Well, they had an electrified district called the Montana division with an electrified section, you know? And that all gone now, you know? And it was a terrible idea for them to get rid of. They tore up the track. The tracks are not there anymore.
Yeah, that sucks.
It was kind of a bad move for them to get rid of the line anyway, you know? And to entertain, we just wanted to go with, ooh, shiny, ooh, fuel burners, you know?
Yes.
Like, am I right?
Yes.
Like,
Okay, let's go down to rail transport in the Dominican Republic.
yeah.
This is the best. Alright. I've seen another... Alright then. Rail transport. This is another article. Wikipedia.
Hey, you know...
Oh, what?
You know, in Iceland, there used to been a railroad in Iceland at 1.2.
Did you say?
There used to been a railroad in Iceland at one point.
Oh, yes. I haven't heard of a railroad in Iceland.
That because it was torn up before the Second World War, you know? They got rid of it.
Yep.
But it's kind of crazy. It's like what happened in Bermuda, you know? Bermuda had a railroad too, but, you know, that thing only lasted for 14 years and they tore that up, you know?
Yes.
Which you could still see...
The only Caribbean country to ever have a railroad is Cuba.
That total BS, am I right?
Yeah, that sucks.
That BS because there are more countries there that had, you know? Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Now here's something else. The thing that I find crazy about Cuba, that one of the only countries that you can see U.S. built locomotive and Russian or Soviet era built locomotive working together. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? What?
Cuba.
Oh, I see.
They actually use American built diesel locomotive in Cuba. And also, they use Soviet era built locomotives too.
I see they both use American and Soviet locomotives.
Yep, crazy, ain't it?
That is actually that's bizarre. That's a bizarre fact.
Did you already knew that or did not?
That's so interesting. I did not know that.
Crazy, ain't it? Heck, they actually had Alcos. You know the old style diesel Alcos that you would see on passenger trains. They actually had some.
Oh, nice.
And dang it, all the diesel locomotive, well, right before you know who took control of Cuba. You know what I mean?
I know.
They lived before Fidel Castro, you know? And here's something else crazy. You know some of their narrow gauge locomotives that are in Cuba actually came from Hawaii. That right there even more crazy, you know?
Excuse me.
Like, it's crazy to think about, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. All the train.
Oh, Santiago is actually building a light rail. It's kind of cool.
Now,
That's in my country.
oh yeah, I know. Now here's the sad thing. The thing that I don't agree that Cuba should be doing. They made a deal with China for China to help rebuild all the railroad. You know, but it's kind of stupid. You know.
They could have actually do it on their own.
I know, but here, Jane, Cuba is going to go into debt because of it, and when they do, get what that means. China get to build a military base there.
We have Guantanamo there. That would actually affect the interests America has.
I know, but here, Jane, it's what China does in every country that it helped build infrastructure in. If that country go into debt, the deal is, if they go into debt, that they have to let China build a military base there. You know what I mean?
Bro.
China
has been building an electric plant here in the DR.
What, China?
My country. Yeah.
You, dude.
That is an L, bro. An L.
I know. And I'll be honest, that is a middle finger to the U.S. right there.
And the funny thing is that the Dominican Republic is actually the closest ally to the to the United States.
Mm-hmm. Like, literally, like, China does see building infrastructure in other countries. That way, when those countries go into debt, it gives them an excuse, you know?
See.
Because they even have it in their papers. You know?
I'm trying to build a rail line, but those plans were kind of scrapped.
I'm not surprised because of all the trucking companies in your country, am I right?
Probably U.S. interests as well. There's probably another factor.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know Cuba, they are rebuilding. Heck, they're out getting locomotive and rolling stock from China right now, you know?
You see?
Which I don't think that actually is smart, you know? Because let's be honest, Chinese equipment and stuff is not good, you know? Am I right?
Right.
Like, made in China. Am I right about that?
Absolutely right about that.
Hey, there's a reason why the United States is still the number one builder in the locomotives when it comes to foreign countries, you know? There's a reason why Australia, Saudi Arabia, that a couple of countries in Africa, Panama, and some in South America and Brazil. There are reasons why a lot of countries in South America buy U.S. built locomotive. Heck, I remember back in the early 2000s, a railroad in Brazil bought some CXX and Norfolk Southern locomotives, you know?
Yes.
So it was kind of odd seeing an American railroad company down there in Brazil. Am I right?
Yes, I think the United States should actually sell rolling stock to the Dominican Republic so that they can actually send some investors to invest on rail.
Well, and now here's the sad thing. The crappy thing is we already have a problem with ourselves where China probably might build a military base in the U.S. too, because China have a freaking build the factory into cargo,
Yes.
You heard about that? We got a freaking factory into cargo.
Wow.
I'm surprised that the government even allowed that to happen. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And a Chinese company that is on U.S. soil building, it's actually railroad passenger train cars and stuff for subways, but, we don't need to have them building their shit in our country. No. Am I right?
No.
And
we're actually trying to build a port here in the Dominican Republic as well. So China is actually investing their resources here too.
Hey, reason why they're doing this is they're trying to screw over every country. They're trying to beat the crossroads of the world,
They're actually using the, let's say, the Belt Road Initiative.
Yes. That what it called. And I hate it. There are a lot of other countries that thought that way before they collapsed, like Rome, Nazi Germany, a lot of countries. Am I right? Even Japan.
Yes, I know that.
So it only a matter of time before China collapse. Like they're out with unrest in China right now as it is. Heck, and people are saying that China might backstab Russia, and I can see that happening. Do you know the reason why?
No.
2 words, Manchuria. Do you know what Manchuria is?
Yeah, I know where it is. It's in China.
No, Russia. It's part of Russia.
Oh.
And Jane is that the Chinese, they want it back.
Oh, yeah.
And with China watching how Russia is doing in Ukraine and watching them lose terribly, I guarantee after this war over, I guarantee, we're going to be seeing China and Russia fight each other. You know what I'm saying? Heck, if them two fight, then that fine with us. It'll keep them out of our hair, Am I right?
Oh, yes. About the Pacific Surfer Liner, California.
Oh, I know about that. Yeah, it right now shut down until they can get that track repaired.
But yes, they're actually they're trying to work on that track. Amtrak and Metrolink, they are without service. There's no Amtrak or Metrolink service in that route.
I know, and that right now, a lot of people are panicking,
Excuse me?
You know what I mean?
I know.
And the thing is that this is what I'll be on about. They're going to have to rebuild that track,
Yes.
And they're going to have to build a levee along the coast, If they don't want that track washing away, they need to build a levee, you know what I mean?
Yes, there was a colossal fire in the dumps of Kensington, which actually suspended SEPTA service and Amtrak.
I remember that.
That was about 6 days ago.
Yeah, I know. That was 6 days ago, and I remember it,
Yeah.
it's crazy on what's been going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, this is one. Amtrak wants to clean up its act and achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2045.
Now, here's the thing. They're actually going to be doing that in California. They're going to start in California and work their way east, you know?
They'll actually start from California all the way to the East Coast.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, speaking of Amtrak, haven't you seen the meme that it just posted in ARC Grand Central?
Oh, not yet. What is it about?
It's about Southwest. The Southwest posted...
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, Southwest said, we've teamed up with Guitar Center to surprise a flight full of customers flying out of Long Beach with a ukulele and a lesson. By the time they arrived in Honolulu, they were pros. And Amtrak replied, like, by the way, we have a quiet car.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. Amtrak been acting like a Chad lately, you know?
I was like, time to ride a train to Hawaii.
That's funny.
I didn't know. Yeah, that is so funny.
Amtrak is coming in like Chad. Like first they roasted CXX and Norfolk Southern. You remember that?
Yeah. And now they're here roasting Southwest Airlines.
I know. Like, I'm not going why Amtrak is making a comeback. That for sure. Like,
I didn't know Amtrak has coverage to Hawaii.
I know, and
Well, I know they don't, but it was just a joke.
I know, and that's funny. Am I right?
Yeah.
Hey,
And Minor Tree was like, that would be a very long bridge.
hey, you know something funny about your country? It actually do snow in the Democratic Republic up in the mountains. You know?
No, it doesn't snow.
It had before. Like you guys have actually had snow in the Dominican Republic before, only up in the mountains.
Yes, we have snow, but it actually forms in the ground. But it doesn't fall. Never falls.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, but let's get back to the trains. You know, Amtrak been going like a Chad lately. You know.
Yeah, Chad, I like it. First, we got Brightline saying nope to Virgin, the Virgin Group, and now we have Amtrak roasting Southwest Airlines.
Like, let me bring that up. Brightline made the right move in their deal with Virgin. You know.
Yes.
Because they seem to writing on the wall. You know what I mean? Now, is that an Uno reverse card? Number 9. But I'll be honest. Like
This is the reverse card.
Val did pull the Uno reverse card on us. Oh dear. You know what I mean, Brightline fan?
Yes.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, Uno is fun, you know?
Yes.
Oh, that right,
We have Amtrak roasting Southwest Airlines. And Amtrak doesn't go down to Hawaii, so
I know. Also, they roasted CXX and Norfolk Southern with that. You remember that? Yeah, you remember that?
I definitely want to see that.
All right, let me tell you, Amtrak went in like it happened a couple months ago. You remember when they were talking about? You remember when they were talking about doing service in the Gulf Coast of Louisiana and doing, new partner rail service? CXX and Norfolk Southern were fighting them from Louisiana to Mobile, Alabama. And CXX said, "Oh, we have multiple trains that run on that line when they only have 2 trains per day." And Get what Amtrak did. They put up the camera and started live streaming it on Twitch saying, haha, very active railroad. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Like a chat. Even Demetrius talked about it. You know what I mean?
I see.
Yep.
Let's see the tweet. Amtrak connects us. TSX says that running 2 daily Amtrak trains on the Gulf Coast would impair freight service on a quote-unquote very busy corridor. So we set up a live stream in Bain, St. Louis, Missouri to see if the route is as busy as CSX claims. I was on Twitch.
Yep.
Dang. CS.
Yep. Look at that, David.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9.
Mm-hmm. Like, literally, ain't that crazy that Amtrak literally we roasted CXX? Ain't that crazy?
For those keeping
Oh,
track at
so
home,
heavy
we
by
counted
now.
a whopping 3 trains on CSX tracks. 8 a.m. CST, Central Standard Time.
Mm-hmm. Like, literally, Amtrak literally roasted CXX for that, you know?
I see.
Like, literally, heck. And that's the funny part, you know what I mean? That is actually funny. I'm not gonna lie. It's downright hilarious and funny in a way.
Yeah. You know how corporations actually reply to their competitors? Same thing that happens to Southwest.
Heck,
I'm going to send that screenshot,
Ow!
AirCheck screenshot, and to see if they and to see how they reply.
oh my god. No one tried to do it to United. Oof. You know, try to do United.
I'm gonna tell them to do United next.
Like, let's be honest, United would be the best one to roast, you know?
Yeah.
Check with their fresh meat. Oof. Am I right?
United. Yeah. I'm going to do these pods right now. I'm going to write these in the chat below.
The flying pod thing. You know, you remember when me and you talked about that and talked about mini out 911s.
Yeah.
Me and Dimitri even talked about that. Oh my god, he had a laugh from that. You remember?
Yes.
Like that live stream, I came in like a Chad on that live stream with the memes, you know?
Yes. Are the puns?
I know. It didn't you remember the flying car pod one that I snuck in while he was not paying attention?
Yep.
Oh my god, that was a golden one right there because it's funny.
Yes. About Brightline, I've seen a lot of airlines panicking.
Yeah. Was I right about that?
You're absolutely right about airlines panicking, but say they're still going to have some flights between Miami and Orlando.
But
They're actually airlines and trains are competitors, but they are not necessarily competitors.
But here kicker. I hate it. Once it get done, I am going to be saying that there are going to be less planes flying once Brightline get running, you know?
Now, they're actually afraid of their market share.
Sorry, David.
I know.
Nice your shoes.
Val did kill the cockroach.
Ow.
But
Sorry, David.
I'll be honest. The thing that I'll be honest about
Sorry,
About-
David, some air.
Brightline, I did see Brightline making a very big comeback, you know?
Going out of retirement.
And I do see the airlines getting pretty much screwed up from this, you know?
Yep.
Because you remember the guy that we invited not last week live stream, the live stream about a few weeks ago?
Yep.
I'll be honest. They tried forcing their stuff down our throat, saying, trying to make us look like the idiot when it's total BS, you know? Like, Jane, is that they were trying to twist my words against me, and I'm not going to have anybody twist my freaking words, you know? Am I right?
Yes, but actually, what you said is the trains are going to replace the airlines, which
Not for long distance, but for short haul flights, you know?
there might be some countries that tried to do this a lot. For example, the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm. The next one, I understand why the Netherlands, because they're mountainous, you know? I can understand in the mountainous reasons, but, you know, when you can have high-speed rail over a flat land that is flat enough where you could do high-speed rail, there's no excuse for it, you know?
This New Amsterdam. That is actually Amsterdam.
Am I right?
Yep.
Heck, you remember Italia in France? You remember that? They don't exist anymore.
Italia.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore, you know?
They've been replaced by Ida Airways.
Yeah, but think about it. Jane that killed them was actually high-speed rail in Italy, you know? Italy new high-speed rail system.
Uh-huh.
That would actually kill their you know, business. You know what I'm saying? Like even not just bikes even talked about it.
Yep.
Heck, not just bikes is pretty good. Dimitri is good. Heck, even, you know, now Alan Fisher, you know? The stuff that they talk about is totally true when you think about it fully, you know? Yeah. And when you think about the plane and car, they literally have made a step back 2 feet, you know? Instead of seeing progress, we see recession, you know? In broadcast, you know what I mean?
I'm going to be very aware of Amtrak's moves in social media.
Oh,
they make posts like that. Let me know.
I know, because I'll be honest, that was one funny one right there.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I'm roasting Southwest Airlines. Try to do this more often.
You know one thing that they did do is roast Greyhound.
Roast what? Chicken sandwich?
Greyhound is a bus company.
Ouch.
Am I right?
Yeah, they should try. Yeah, they absolutely do that. By the way, I've seen the Capital Corridor on Instagram. They've actually liked my posts.
Oh.
You've heard of the Capital Corridor?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that at the time, that was a few days ago, that they've liked my photos.
Oh, they flagged it or liked it?
They hate
They
it?
liked it.
Oh, that good.
Yeah, I was like, that is awkward.
Mm-hmm. But
Hopefully they're...
Sorry, David.
That is pretty cool. I'll be honest, you know?
Yeah.
Now here...
They're not train related, but I really like the scenery.
Now here's something cool. You know Amtrak out we buying some of the, you know, the Ford locomotives, you know, the Ford train sets?
Oh, what type of train sets are those?
You know the Ford. It's up in it. You know what Caltrans is buying for their electrification in San Francisco?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Those are Saddlers. Then you have the Saddler Ford, which are not electric but are hydrogen.
They're actually trying to buy that.
Yeah, Amtrak out we buying them now. If Amtrak wanted to do something here in Charleston and do commuter rail here in Charleston, all they need to do is they buy them hydrogen fork locomotives and run, commuter rail here, That would be perfect for Charleston. And I've been talking about this for a while now, Everybody say we don't have the population, but BS, we do have the population,
I think they should actually start looking on Tallahassee and Jacksonville, because those two cities need commuter rail.
I know, and technically, Jacksonville actually getting commuter rail in the next couple of years. They already got approved to do that new commuter rail system.
But Tallahassee needs some commuter rail.
Yeah, that too.
The capital of the state of Florida doesn't have a commuter rail system.
No reason it don't, because it in the area of the state that they don't count as high populated.
That's what they say, but remember, there are small cities that have rail services.
Mm-hmm.
That's no excuse.
I know. And here's something else. Like, Panama City in Florida, they're big enough for commuter rail, I'm surprised that they have not got any commuter rail. Am I right? They're technically getting screwed out a lot of stuff too. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yes, I know what you're saying. By the way, I wish if the FEC could reach all the way down to Key West, just like they did it in the
They did.
time.
They did, and then when that one hurricane back in the 20 hit, it destroyed all that, and they did not even rebuild it because it was during the Depression,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, if they had tried to keep it, Brightline would have been able to run train all the way down there,
Yep.
Yeah, that would be actually interesting to see.
Like that really,
tries to build that.
like they kind of screwed up, But that was over 100 years ago,
Yeah.
The thing is that it was a hurricane that demolished it, and then a couple years later, some retards, and yes, because we're autistic, we have a right to say that word. Because of them retards, they said, "Ooh, build a road over it. Ooh, build a road over it." Oh my God,
That's how US1 became a debate.
Yep, you got roads out. We run right over where the old tracks used to be.
They were right beside the old bridge.
Yeah, the old bridge was the train bridge. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
And this thing that make me so angry, like this what I hate. I hate it when people say, "Ooh, build a road. Ooh, buy a road." Or not buy a road. Ooh, build a road. Ooh, build a road. Those people that want to make me to ball up my fit and punch them in the face,
Those are the same ones who are building the roads or want to try to expand lanes. Are like, ooh, expand, add more lanes to it. It's going to fix traffic. Just one more lane, bro. Just one more lane.
Heck, Alan Pfister made a video about it.
Yep.
Heck,
It was a meme though.
It was a meme.
Really, there are some people out there who say that trains aren't efficient, and we should replace them with cars and trucks.
Oh my God, I hate people. I had a high school teacher that always told me that railroading was dying, I had a high school teacher that rubbed it in my face and told me that railroading is dying, and I hated her. And I'm going to bring her name up. Her name was Miss Nettles.
I don't want the United. If it weren't for Amtrak, we wouldn't have. You guys wouldn't have a rail. Imagine all the railroads just disappear in the blink of an eye.
Oh,
Say that.
Oh my God, that would have been chaos. There would have been a state of emergency. Stuff would be very bad, and our economy would be going way down,
But let me say, let's say this. I'm in a country that has minor railroads, and there are no major railroad links to any city. There is more roads than railroads here.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be pulling a Dominican Republic way.
I hate to say it, our country is way too big for that. Heck, try to do that here in the U.S. and you would have chaos. Saying that
Yeah, exactly.
it won't be the Dominican Republic. It will be a Mad Max type situation,
Yeah, it would be a Dominican Republic size chaos. It would be, I'd say, a Texas size chaos.
Hmm.
Oh,
Now,
yeah, well,
Now, I can understand Australia because they have the road trains. I can understand them because, let's be honest, you're in the middle of nowhere. But here in the U.S., yes, total no. Am I right?
Yep.
yeah, absolutely right. But by the way, I was thinking if Amtrak could expand that Cascade service all the way up to Alaska, that would be pretty cool.
The only problem is that they would have to use railroad barges because the tracks up in Alaska are completely cut off from the lower 48s,
Yeah, they actually have a railroad link to Vancouver, Canada, so they could actually expand the service all the way up to Alaska.
I know, but that means that they would have to build railroad tracks because the Alaska Railroad is landlocked,
Uh-huh.
The thing is the only way to get freight from the lower 48 up to Alaska, you got to put it on railroad barges, and I'm talking about train barges. Barges that you put train cars on. You got to barge all the way up to the Alaska Railroad, and then at high tide, they literally have to wait until high tide when the tide is high enough. They bring those barges in, and they have to unload those freight cars, those train cars, as fast as they can.
Yes, exactly. But actually, I was thinking about a railroad connection between Alaska and British Columbia.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for years. They've been talking about that for a year, and it needs to happen because let's just say if we end up going to war with Russia, or China, we cannot put everything on trucks, Like, look what happened to the Russians in Ukraine,
Yep.
We seen what happened with them when you put everything on freaking highways. The thing is, we need to build that railroad up there. It's very important for the economy, and it's also very important for national security too.
Yep.
Everybody say, "Oh, we don't need to build a railroad to connect up to Alaska." Bullshit. We do. We do.
Speaking about, you haven't heard of Downey Live by now, by any chance, right?
Yes, I heard about them a little bit.
Yes, he's actually traveling up from America's most southern train station all the way up to America's northern.
The northern train station in Fairbanks, Alaska.
Yes.
Which, meaning, if he wants to get up and ride a train in Alaska, he's going to literally have to get on a barge. And
yep, that's what he's going to do.
Saying is that the only way that we can get freight up to Alaska, we got to put it on boats to take it up to Alaska. You know what I mean?
The only airline that flies to Alaska is the Seattle-based Alaskan Airlines that actually service Alaska every.
Actually, there are more airlines than that serve Alaska too. That not just the only one. There are ones in Canada that serve it too.
Yeah, and American Airlines to have a partner over there.
And Oahu Air does too. Oahu Air from Hawaii, they actually does it too, you know?
The U.S. is actually has bought Alaska for one purpose only. It's for actually to control the let's say the future northern passage over there.
Actually, no, not. You want to know the real reason you have bought it? It would do.
Why?
It was after the Civil War, you know, a couple years after the Civil War, you know, to get everybody some new land to look at because they wanted everybody to pay attention to the new land, you know, and that was after the Civil War and after cleanup, you know.
And Russia sold it to the United States.
With what kind of a terrible mistake on their hand because they kind of oofed themselves, you know.
Yeah.
And
United States actually bought that thing. They actually bought that territory. I remember back in the day was kind of they deemed it was worthless.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is with that they thought it was worth it, but in the end, it had so many resources. It became a very valuable asset. You know.
Yeah.
Like lumber,
Yeah.
coal, oil, gold, copper, zinc, and plentiful fishing and national gas. Plus, because Alaska is near the Arctic Circle, it gave the U.S. a part of the Antarctic with it a smart move. So there were so many things that this thing gave the U.S., you know?
Entre nosotros
Bright line.
sorry about
Is that your mom?
Yeah, my mom was actually thinking about these peanuts.
Oof.
My dad ate them.
Oh, but what I'm trying to say is that everybody thought Alaska was worth it until it started showing what it really had, you know? Like, literally, that's the thing that actually helped Alaska to make it very important. And saying it is the reason why we have so much right now.
Yes, exactly. Today, Alaska is actually is geographically valuable to the U.S. Right now, we have Northwest Passage. It's the gateway to the Northwest Passage.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's the most used for cargo planes. It's the most used airport for cargo planes. You know?
Yeah. If the United States and Canada built a rail line connecting Alaska, that'll actually boost the economy as well.
I know, and everybody's saying, "Oh, it won't." No, it won't. And reality is, yes, it will boost the economy. You know, it will.
Yes.
Everybody who is saying it won't are the idiots.
Are kind of like the anti-train people.
Heck, I'm surprised that they did not start doing that when they started building that road to Alaska back during World War II, you know?
Yeah.
The Trans-Alaska Highway from the lower 48 all the way up through Canada to Alaska. I'm surprised that they did not try to screw that over, you know?
Yeah.
And Tina,
the
sorry.
Canadian Pacific and the Union Pacific should actually partner each other and build a freight corridor there, and then we might see via rail and Amtrak routes going up and down.
I'll be honest, I think the Alaska Railway and a private company are probably going to be one to pull it off, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, possibly Alaska Railway.
Because let's be honest, they are probably going to be the ones, you know?
Speaking of new corridors, Brightline West is looking for ordering a Siemens Velaro. You know what a Siemens Velaro is, right?
Yes.
It's a high-speed train German high-speed train.
Mm.
ICUs.
Mm-hmm.
ICE.
Heck, that meanwhile, we're going to have a German locomotive back in U.S. that a high-speed rail. We have not had one since the 1990s. Am I right?
Yes. Since Yesella Express.
Heck, the Acela Express is high-speed anyway, and it still runs, you know?
Right here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I'm on Brightline's page right now.
Now, I'll be on it. The Acela is getting replaced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With it kind the Acela Express is getting replaced. It's kind of sad, but it is about time for them to replace them. You know, they're over 20 years old. Am I right?
Right.
You know.
You're absolutely right. So basically, they're going to replace them with this
Avail Liberty. They're called the Avail Liberty. You know?
It's getting late.
I know. But before you go, man, I'll be on it. We are making headway when it comes to rail transit in the country. We're finally starting to get our act together, you know?
Yeah, we're going to catch up.
It took over almost 60 years. 60 years! Am I right?
Finally. Yes.
Start from the 60 all the way to now, it finally started taking us to do that, you know?
Yes, we finally let's hope they can continue this way.
Yeah. Because they're already starting to plan to start thinking about building high-speed rail in North Carolina. They're already starting to talk about that.
Yeah. I hope Brightline gets into talk as well.
Heck, it'll probably be Brightline to get there first, you know?
Amtrak is focusing on other priorities right now.
I know, and funny thing is that I do see Brightline being Amtrak competition in the next couple of years.
By the way, you know what? Amtrak should start actually thinking about converting Siemens venture coaches into sleeper ventures.
Actually, they already have some that they're working on. They're already working on some.
Yeah, I could see them replacing the new Viewliner. Well, the Viewliners, but I see some new Viewliners coming to show up.
Hey, well, the Viewliners are the same shape as the Avenger coaches, and they have the same diameter. So all they did need to do is to make smooth plating and all that, and it'll look like it, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, but I should probably let you get ready to go. It is late in the Dominican Republic. Am I right, man?
Right. Well, the next time we're going to make a live stream, just let me know.
I know. I already gave you the heads up yesterday. You remember?
Yes.
But yeah, but
You know, whatever you. By the way, I want you to have some more contact on or off the live stream. So
yeah,
you called me yesterday, and it's the first time you called me, not for live stream purposes.
yeah, just to chill and to check up what's been going on. Because me and Val, we were worried about you, you know.
And I was worried about you yesterday about Hurricane
Ian. Yeah, I know.
Oh, we'll see you later, bud.
All right, later, Brightline fan.
And have a nice sleep.
I know. You have a night one too, bud.
Don't let the bed bugs bite you.
All right, later, bud.
Later.
All right, that was Brightline fan, and with it getting short late, we should get some stuff done before I get ready for bed because I do got work at 12 tomorrow. So let's get cracking. Oops. On the last thing before we do. We're going to be a little difficult with the fan on. But yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's up all we it's cool doing this. And that's something I do think cool. Alright, the SNS up right here with the SNS Railway is one of my favorites. But yeah, let me adjust the laptop. There we go. There are about 46 pages. Get them blank right there. Here's some stuff that I like right here that I do think is cool. But yeah, did it up there with some of the cooler stuff. Oh, with it being fall, oh my god, fall colors like this are beautiful. Just fantastic work. Like, also, Val, you want to say Valley Poo? Valley Poo!
Yes.
You want to tell them what the day marks?
I got 2-year anniversary. Celebrating my first day here in Charleston.
If y'all don't know, 2 years ago today, it marked 2 years since Val moved here to Charleston to be with me.
Yep.
Like, literally, I did a video blog about it. It was crazy because it was crazy on how far we have gone, you know? But yeah. But let me get back to Zoe in the magazines. It's some cool stuff right here. This is a cool railroad right here. It's pretty interesting on some of the spots they have on this one. And they got a very well-known area for rail fanning and for photos. But yeah. Them steam engine. But yeah. Also, the Eastern Broad Top is finally back. Oh, it feels good knowing that they're back. But yeah, it's a crazy time right now. And everything. Rubber diamond, that expensive piece of equipment. And if y'all don't know, this was at the beginning of the pandemic when that magazine came out. So yeah, that's some crazy stuff. I'll be honest, the photo right here looks beautiful. That I'll be on about with the fall colors in the background. But yeah. Alright, but did some cool stuff right here anyway too. But yeah. With some empty blank pages right here. Here's some stuff. That one from went before the CP bought them. What crazy. The Quebec not Quebec. I forgot the name of it. But they were one who we ended up with that big train accident at one time. But heck, they would before they got bought up by that one railroad, they were about to be a class 1 railroad. They were close, that for sure. But yeah. But look at the knife photo right here. It kind of cool, or technically is very cool. And the there's some cool stuff. There's some cool stuff right here. But yeah. On that right, also on have an out code that they use. It moves up around, but yeah, but also here in New York and New Jersey area, but yeah. But it's good. Now, I hope y'all enjoyed the magazine, and I hope y'all enjoyed stuff that we were talking about tonight. But yeah. Also, so tick tock, tick tock, tick 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 tick
It's
tick
time to
tock.
stop now.
About they don't see you.
It's time to stop now.
Boop 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 boop. Oh my god.
Bruh.
A family member got that for me.
Cool.
It actually it from what year is this? There's no date on it. Dang. I'll be honest, it does suck not being able to find a date on stuff sometimes, but this is still cool. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. Well, I know, but yeah. Now, I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys. Have a night.